Director of Orientation, Michael Johnston.
Thank you, Allison. It's a real pleasure to be here today to be the first student to officially welcome you all here to Duquesne. I hope the beginning has been everything that you've expected, and I'm sure that what the coming weeks and months and years will continue to be. A few weeks ago, I was feeling pretty reminiscent. The admissions office asked me to help them out by giving a tour to a prospective family. And when I was done walking this father and his daughter around campus, I realized it was almost exactly 4 years to the day that my dad and I had made the trip, about 300 miles from Philadelphia to see Duquesne the summer before my senior year of high school. We came out to visit on a Friday morning and absolutely fell in love with the campus. We sat on campus that afternoon having lunch and pretty much knew this is where I was going to end up. Then later that night, my dad and I accompanied a few of his co-workers to a Pirates game. When we got down to PNC Park, the co-worker told us that it was going to be a fireworks night. And he grabbed my attention and he said, "You know, Mike, you have to come out here to Duquesne." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because we're having fireworks tonight. And do you know why we're having fireworks tonight?" And I sat and I kind of wondered, and it was the end of July and I didn't really know. And he said, "It's Friday. And in Pittsburgh, we have pit fireworks just because it's Friday." Now, fireworks weren't necessarily the thing that sold Duquesne and the city of Pittsburgh for me. But I started thinking about all the different reasons why the incoming class chose Duquesne to be their home for the next 4, 5, or 6 years. And I realized that for the hundreds of you that are sitting out in front of me, there are probably hundreds of different reasons for why you all chose Duquesne. And while you all have your own, there's one additional reason that I wanted to share with you today that I don't think you'll really even get to fully understand until you've spent some time here on campus. For many people who travel through Pittsburgh or know Duquesne only on the surface, they see bricks and mortar up on the bluff overlooking the Monongahela River. But for those of us who have the privilege to frequent Academic Walk and the insides of those buildings, we know Duquesne is something more. For anyone who moved into the residence halls in the last 24 hours, I think you probably understand a little bit what I mean. Duquesne isn't just a collection of buildings, but it's a collection of people who make up a very extraordinary community. The majority of people who helped everyone move in the past couple days are here with us today. They're the 2005 orientation staff. Sitting at the ends of every other row, they've joined us today after giving up the last week of their summer and volunteering to be here to greet the incoming students. Ask them why they're here, and they'll tell you it's because of the tremendous experiences that they've had here at Duquesne, and they want to share them all with you. It's important, I think, to reiterate the fact that every student here is volunteering, and every student understands what it's like to be new in college. It's the excitement, the anxiety, the questions are all familiar to our volunteers. For these students, the questions have been answered. Their anxieties have been relaxed, and their excitement has driven them to great things here at Duquesne. I speak for them when I proudly welcome you all to Duquesne and extend our wish that your answers exceed your questions and your successes outnumber your failures. Many of these incredible experiences are spawned by the work of some other individuals who have joined us here today. To your right, the faculty and staff that are seated here will put away the graduation gowns after today, and they'll go hard at work at ensuring that we're all provided with the best possible educational opportunities. Speaking from experiences, they will challenge you. It won't always be easy, but one thing that you can be sure of is that every time you walk into a classroom, they're going to have your absolute best interest in mind. The next time you see these men and women wearing these black gowns, they're going to be more than professors, but colleagues and friends whose hard work and dedication you'll admire for years. Lastly, I'd like you to take a look around. Take a look to your left, to your right, a couple sections over, maybe a couple rows behind. Who knows, you may have very well just seen your best friend and you don't even know it yet. You probably saw someone who you're going to work with on a class project. or maybe someone from your hometown who's going to offer you a ride home for Thanksgiving. Today you're surrounded with about 1,500 of your peers. These are the men and women that you will grow with spiritually, personally, and academically over the next several years. Cherish the relationships that you make here on the bluff, as well as the time that you spend making them. You all have a tremendous opportunity laying in front of you today. At Duquesne, we take a special pride in our orientation program and are excited to have a new incoming class to welcome to campus. The next week will be memorable for you in many ways. The orientation program, known this year as Dive into Duquesne, is your chance to hit the ground running and put yourself in the best possible position for success here in college. I promise you, these 3 words are more than a catchphrase for the week, but something we really feel you should embrace. The sooner you become an active part of the Duquesne community, the sooner you will begin to reap the full potential of its benefits. There are a few people here today who I would like to thank for their integral role in the success of the program. Dr. Charles Doherty, Father Sean Hogan, Dr. Ralph Pearson, and the rest of the executive board and spirit and priests who have been so supportive and helpful in the planning of the next week. Also, Dr. Fred Lawrenson, the Director of Freshman Development and Special Student Services, along with the entire Student Life staff. I'd also like to thank Ms. Allison Murtha, the Assistant Director of Orientation, who have kept me and the rest of the orientation staff on task and in line for the past summer and year leading up to this week. Lastly, the rest of the orientation staff, including our chairpersons and team leaders, and anyone else who has played even the smallest part in preparation for Dive into Duquesne. I'd ask that you join me in showing my appreciation for them with a round of applause that will probably mean a lot more on Sunday once this program has concluded and you've seen all the hard work that they've really put into it. Next Friday is fireworks night down at PNC Park. And I plan on going down to see the game and the fireworks show. But like my decision to come here to Duquesne, that trip is going to be made even better by the fact that I'll be going down with some great friends that I have made here at Duquesne in the past 3 years. I'm thrilled that you have decided to join the Duquesne community and hope you don't waste any time diving right in and getting immersed in all that Duquesne has to offer. The fact is that there are fireworks here every day at Duquesne, in the residence halls, in the classrooms, the cafeteria, and on Academic Walk. They're lit and fueled by the spirit and community of the people and personalities that walk on the bluff every day. Turns out I really did come to Duquesne and Pittsburgh for the fireworks, and I hope you're all ready to enjoy the show. Thank you and welcome.